Hi guys, today we're going to do a little gardening video. It's about a month since we did an update on the Polytunnel, so I thought you'd like to see the progress of all the veggies out there. But before we go out there, I thought I'd bring you in here to our conservatory. This is where we start off all our little seeds in here, and we don't have anything fancy. We literally use the windowsill in here, and we put little bin bags or plastic bags underneath. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess, but it's a good mess. So I just, over here, we ordered some, Tony ordered some vines in the post, and you saw the white grapevine that came, but the red grapevines never came. So he rang them and they posted out a second batch. So guess what happened? They both arrived within 2 days of each other. So look, we have all these great red grapevines. And when they came, honestly, you thought they're literally firewood. They were just stuck together in an envelope. And Tony planted them in compost. And look, within a couple of days of watering, this is what happens. Little buds shoot out the sides where the nodes are, and they're all, these three haven't, oh look, there's one starting to come. These two haven't happened yet, but see these little nodes here at the sides? That's where the green shoots are going to come out. So just thought I'd show you that. We'll head out now to our outdoor garden, which we haven't shown you yet either. So here we are, we're outside. This is where we have a few things growing outside. We have some potatoes down there, and I planted this little lavender bank here because I saw it in Avoca a couple of years ago. I thought it was fabulous. Oh, some more outdoor cabbage. This is the first set of lettuce here, and this is the second sowing here. Sometimes we grow sweet pea and peas along the back here, but we just didn't do it this year. Loads of parsley in here. I have flat leaf and I don't know what non-flat leaf is called, normal parsley. We have our carrots here. We have our beans here, which are coming along quite nicely there. You can see a few beans coming. Oh! Dead bird! We have a cat. We have some rocket along here, and I've planted some sugar snap peas that I'm going to stake with some twigs sometime. These are our scallions that have gone to seed, and I just love the flower that they produce. I don't know if you can see that. It makes a lovely floral arrangement. Our rhubarb is over here. I'm going to split that later on in October time. It's past producing at this stage. I have my herb garden here. So I have sage here, oregano here, I have some garlic here, huge rosemary, which I probably need to cut back a bit, and in under there is a little bit of thyme, chives, a little bit more thyme, and here are the red currants that I talked about the other day. I don't know, Tony, if you can come in here and take a look at those beautiful little red currants. And look, the birds even managed to get in through that. I don't know how they do it. We have a few gooseberries and blackberries here. And then over here is the polytunnel, which you have been in already, but this is the way in. Look at the size of it, like it's massive. It was an old mushroom tunnel, so it's huge. And these are my sloe trees here. I don't know, Tony, if you can get a close up of all those sloes. I didn't even know they were here. I've spent the last couple of winters scouring the countryside for sloes, and we had them here all along. So come on in here and see all the growth that has happened since we've been here last. You see the beans have just jumped up and they produce a beautiful flower. So these are fava beans. And we have our turnips over here. You can see in there, Tony, that it's coming along nicely. We could actually start eating those now. Heaps of kale here, guys. If anybody knows what to do with kale, I've never grown kale before. It's not something I'm familiar with buying. I just thought it'd be nice to try, but I'm open to suggestions for recipes. You can see in here that our broccoli is just starting to shoot up nicely there. And we have heaps of cabbage, which is pretty much ready for picking. These are the guys that we planted about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and they're just shooting up massively. Cauliflower. I thought this was broccoli, but it looks like more kale, so I need help on the kale front. And here's our cucumber plants. We have some more beans here. Are we planting them here? And we have corn on the cob here. The corn is now starting to sprout out here. You can see these are going to be the cobs of corn. And every day we have to just tap these slightly. You can see there's little dusting of pollen falling down, and that's what fertilizes the cob. You can see our courgettes here. They're just flying along. This one's ready for picking. And our tomatoes are starting to produce the first fruits, which you can just see here. Just a little bit of information about the way I plant my tomatoes is I plant them in a pot. I don't know if you can see that, Tony. I plant them in pots, but I cut the bottom out of the pot so the roots can go down into the ground. But it just means when you're watering them and feeding them, because you have to feed them to produce good fruit, it goes directly to the roots and not all over the place. I learned that tip a few years ago, so it works well for us. I plant the marigolds around the tomatoes to prevent the, what's that fly? I don't know what fly it is that attacks tomatoes, luckily. And you constantly have to pinch out the tomato, on your tomato plants you have to constantly pinch out the, what are they called? Side shoots. So don't forget to do that. Our gourds are going crazy over here. So what I did was I cut back a lot of the leaves because the bees couldn't find the flowers to pollinate them. But as you can see, the fruit is coming along really well. We've got all sorts of different coloured varieties. Can you see that, Tony? There's a lovely white and green mix in here as well. So they're going to be our decorative gourds for the Halloween time. Our tomatoes are going grand, and our white grapevine is it's coming along nicely there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of the update on the polytunnel. Just up at the top here, I want to show you the first fruit of the cucumber is in under here. You kind of have to come around this way, I think, to see it, Tony. Can you see it there? Yeah? Mm-hmm. And this is our basil now, which is ready for picking. I had a little bit last night, it's delicious. These are the guys we planted 3 weeks ago, and they're flying. And our cucumbers are flying up there. Something I learned recently, I think my mum told me, that you have to do the same with cucumber plants that you have to do with tomato plants. You have to pinch out the side shoots. Parsnips are wonderful, and more turnips here, definitely ready for eating now. And these are the Brussels sprouts that we planted a few weeks ago. Look, they're huge, they're flying. And that's it. I just recently planted these red cabbage a couple of nights ago actually, and I have another fortune of cabbage plants. So if any of you live locally and you want some cabbage plants, just give us a shout. So that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. I encourage you all to get planting. It's not too late in the season. God bless.